Have you ever sat quietly by a window letting the sunlight wash over your face and suddenly noticed a small itch on your skin? Maybe it was nothing. A quick scratch and it faded into the background of a lazy afternoon. But what if that tiny itch was your body's way of whispering a warning? We often think of danger as something loud, something sudden like a storm ripping through the trees. But the truth is, real danger sometimes approaches in silence, in the smallest of signals. A tiny itch, a small spot, a feeling so subtle we almost miss it. And especially after 60, our bodies begin speaking in these hushed tones, telling us stories that if we ignore them, might cost us far more than we imagine. Today I want to sit down with you almost like we're sharing a warm cup of tea and walk through something quietly urgent, how something as simple as an itchy spot on your skin could be the first chapter of a story you do not want to read to the end. And more importantly, how you can listen, act, and change the ending. Because life even now, especially now, is too precious to leave to chance. Helen was 67 when she first noticed it. Just a small, persistent itch near her neckline. It started in the mornings, mostly when she put on her sweater, a tiny nagging sensation like a feather brushing her skin. She thought it was just dryness, maybe from the winter air. She applied lotion, switched detergents, even bought new softer clothes. And for a while it seemed to quiet down. But months passed and the spot stayed. It started changing. A slight redness, a rougher texture. Nothing dramatic, no flashing lights, no sirens, just an evolving whisper from her skin. Still, Helen shrugged it off. "I'm just getting older," she told herself, busying her days with gardening, church groups, and Sunday dinners with her grandchildren. It wasn't until her daughter, visiting for lunch one sunny afternoon, noticed the patch and insisted begged Helen to get it checked, that she agreed, mostly to quiet the fuss. What followed was a whirlwind: a dermatologist appointment, a biopsy, and a diagnosis: early-stage melanoma. Caught just in time. The doctor told her that had she waited even a few months longer, the story might have been very different. Across the country, in a small town tucked into the wide golden fields of Texas, lived James, a 72-year-old retired carpenter, proud of his independence and his calloused hands. James first noticed an itch on his back, right where he couldn't easily reach. At first he thought it was just dry skin from working outdoors. Then he blamed the cheap soap he was using. Days turned into weeks, then months. He scratched absent-mindedly sometimes till it bled a little, but he didn't worry. After all, he'd lived through worse broken bones, the death of his wife, hard winters. It wasn't until one evening, when his sister visited and caught him wincing, that anyone suggested he see a doctor. Reluctantly he went. Blood tests were run, exams were done. The culprit wasn't just dry skin, it was an early sign of liver disease. His body had been trying to send out an SOS through his skin, hoping anyone would notice. 2 lives, 2 tiny signs, 2 wake-up calls. And I can't help but wonder how many of us have dismissed these little signals from our bodies, telling ourselves we're simply aging, that it's nothing serious. Is it possible that something so small, so quiet, could hold the key to years more of laughter, of memories of life? You see, our skin isn't just the largest organ of our body, it's also one of the most communicative. Like a loyal friend who taps you on the shoulder when something feels off. Scientifically, that persistent itch you might feel isn't just a surface-level annoyance. It could be your body's way of flashing a warning light, subtle but significant. Researchers at Harvard Medical School have studied the relationship between chronic itching, medically called pruritus, and underlying systemic diseases. They found that persistent itching, particularly when no obvious rash is present, could be an early symptom of serious internal issues ranging from kidney failure to certain types of cancer. Think of your body like a complex, finely tuned car. Normally, when something goes wrong, the car's dashboard lights up with a warning. Check engine, low oil, tire pressure. Your skin is your body's dashboard. It's the place where hidden troubles first bubble to the surface. When the liver is struggling, it can no longer properly clear toxins, and one of the earliest signs is an unexplained itch. Similarly, subtle changes in the immune system, blood circulation, or even the growth of abnormal cells, like in the case of melanoma, often show themselves first through tiny, almost ignorable symptoms on the skin. It's easy to overlook. Life is busy, days blend together, but your skin's story is always being written, always speaking, if only we slow down enough to listen. And maybe you're wondering, how do I know when an itch is just an itch or when it's something more? That's exactly what we'll explore next. Because if the body whispers before it screams, then learning to hear those whispers could be the most important thing you ever do. Now let's talk about the real-world challenges, the messy, complicated truth about why so many people like Helen and James, and maybe even you and me, tend to brush these signs aside. First, let's be honest, after 60, the body changes so much that it's almost too easy to chalk everything up to getting older. A new ache must be arthritis, tiredness, just part of aging, a little itch, probably nothing. There's a kind of silent resignation that sneaks in. We expect to feel worse, so we stop questioning when we do. And life doesn't slow down just because we're aging. Bills still come. Family still needs us. Grandkids need babysitting. Doctor's appointments feel endless. And who wants to add another concern to an already packed list? Sometimes ignoring small things feels like survival, like a way to keep moving forward without getting swallowed by fear. There's also the practical side. Healthcare can be expensive, complicated, intimidating. Many elderly folks hesitate to seek help for something they perceive as minor because they worry about cost hassle or simply feeling like a burden. And yet, as Helen's and James's stories show, ignoring can cost far, far more. So here's the question. If we can't afford to ignore these signs, but we also can't afford to run to the doctor every time we feel a little off, what can we realistically do? There is a way, simple, practical, and beautifully doable. Let me introduce you to something I like to call the 3-minute skin ritual. It's not complicated. It doesn't require fancy equipment or expensive tests. It's just you, your eyes, and 3 minutes once a week. Here's how it works. First, pick a quiet moment, maybe Sunday morning before breakfast or Sunday evening before bed. Stand in front of a mirror in good light. Slowly, gently look over your skin, especially in those easy-to-forget spots. Your back, your neck, your scalp, the backs of your legs, the soles of your feet. What you're looking for isn't just any itch or spot. You're looking for anything new, anything that has changed, anything that doesn't feel quite right. A mole that's grown, a patch that's rougher or redder than before, a spot that itches persistently, bleeds, or scabs without healing. If you notice something odd, write it down. Take a picture if you can. Watch it for 2 weeks. If it's still there, if it gets worse, or if you're even just a little unsure, get it checked by a doctor. It's that simple. 3 minutes, once a week. Your skin, your story, your future. You might wonder, is that really enough? Well, studies say yes. According to the Skin Cancer Foundation, regular self-examinations can help find about half of all melanomas early. Early detection dramatically improves survival rates. In fact, when melanoma is detected early, the 5-year survival rate is about 99%. That's almost a sure thing, just by noticing, just by acting. And this ritual isn't just about preventing skin cancer. It's about tuning into your body in a way most of us have forgotten how to do. It's about making space, just a tiny space, to listen to yourself. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be an expert. You just have to be willing to look, to care, to act. And if you're feeling overwhelmed already, thinking, I'll never remember to do this, here's a trick: link it to something you already do. Check your skin after brushing your teeth every Sunday night, or after your favorite weekly TV show. Make it part of a rhythm you already have, because your future isn't protected by giant leaps. It's protected by small, faithful steps. One glance, one note, one call if needed. 3 minutes could be the reason you get to spend 3 more Christmases with your family, 3 more summers walking barefoot on the beach, 3 more years watching your grandkids grow taller. Isn't that worth it? So tell me, would you be willing to spend 3 minutes for your life? Would you be willing to listen when your skin speaks? Because the next part we're about to explore will show you just how deeply science backs up what our hearts already know, that little things can save big lives. Science, in its quiet, methodical way, has been echoing the truth our bodies try to tell us every day. Let's look closer at what the researchers say. A study published by the Mayo Clinic found that skin examinations, both self-administered and by medical professionals, significantly increase the detection of early-stage skin cancers. They discovered that individuals who performed regular self-checks had double the survival rates compared to those who didn't. Imagine that. Just noticing doubled their chances. And it's not just skin cancer we're talking about. Another extensive study conducted by the National Institutes of Health (NIH) revealed that unexplained persistent itching was often an early symptom of hidden systemic diseases, including liver disorders and kidney disease. In fact, nearly 20% of chronic itch cases studied were directly linked to underlying serious health problems, many of which were treatable if caught early. Think about that for a moment. What we dismiss as just a dry patch could in reality be a quiet knock at the door from our liver, our kidneys, or even our immune system asking for help. If you had a smoke detector that beeped quietly once every few minutes, would you rip out the battery because it was annoying? Or would you check if there was a fire smoldering somewhere unseen? Our bodies deserve the same attention, the same care. And yet so many myths and misunderstandings still swirl around like thick fog, keeping people from seeing the danger clearly. Let's clear the air, shall we? One of the most common myths is, it's just dry skin, nothing serious. Sure, dry skin is common. As we age, our skin naturally loses moisture. But persistent localized itching, especially in one specific spot that doesn't respond to moisturizing, is different. It's not just dryness, it's a potential red flag waving quietly in the wind. Another dangerous myth whispers, I've had this spot for years, it's fine. But the truth is, even long-standing spots can change. Melanomas, for example, don't always start from new growths. They can evolve from pre-existing moles or freckles. A spot that was harmless 5 years ago might not be harmless today. If it changes in color, shape, size, or texture, it's speaking a new language, and you need to listen. And then there's this myth. Only people who sunbathe get skin problems. It's comforting to believe that if we never laid out on beaches coated in baby oil back in the 70s, we're safe. But the reality is harsher. Everyday sun exposure, walking to the store, gardening, sitting by a sunny window adds up over decades. And skin issues aren't just about sun damage either. They can arise from genetics, immune system changes, and internal illnesses. The most dangerous belief of all is thinking, it's part of getting older, so why bother? Please, I beg you, never accept suffering as your new normal. Aging may be inevitable, but suffering unnecessarily is not. Your body doesn't give up on you as you age. Your heart beats 100,000 times a day without complaint. Your lungs fill and empty 20,000 times a day, silently, faithfully. Your skin, too, tries to protect you from the world outside and sometimes from dangers brewing inside. All it asks is that you listen. So next time you feel that small, persistent itch, that odd little spot you can't explain, don't brush it off like lint from a jacket. Look closer, ask questions, be curious, because curiosity when it comes to your health isn't nosy, it's life-saving. And next we'll dive even deeper into the reflection that could change not just how you see your body, but how you live the rest of your life. Take a moment with me now. Close your eyes just for a second and imagine your body as a vast, beautiful garden. Every flower, every tree, every patch of grass represents a part of you, your thoughts, your memories, your hopes, your dreams. Now imagine that somewhere deep among the blossoms, a small weed begins to grow. At first, it's almost invisible, just a whisper among the petals. But left alone, it spreads quietly, silently, until the garden you cherish is overwhelmed. Your body, like that garden, gives small signs long before big trouble sets in. A tiny spot, an odd sensation, a little itch that just won't go away. These are not inconveniences to ignore. They are invitations, gentle invitations, to lean in, to notice, to care. And here's the deeper truth. Listening to your body isn't about fear. It's about love. It's about honoring the precious life that has carried you through so many seasons already. It's about giving yourself permission to thrive, not just survive. Our culture often glorifies being tough, pushing through discomfort, dismissing pain. But strength is not in ignoring your body. Strength is in tenderness. Strength is in attention. Strength is in responding with care. Your skin whispers before it shouts. Your heart murmurs before it cries. Your body nudges before it begs. And so the question is not, will you have health challenges as you age? We all will eventually. The question is, will you listen when the challenges first begin to whisper? Imagine what could be different if we all did. Imagine the years added, the memories preserved, the joys extended. Maybe it all starts with a simple shift, seeing your body not as a burden, but as a beloved friend asking for your attention. A friend who's walked with you every day of your life. A friend who even now is fighting for your life in ways you can't see. A friend who only asks you to care enough to notice. So today I want to invite you, no, I want to encourage you warmly from the bottom of my heart to take action. Starting right now, commit to a simple life-giving step. Perform the 3-minute skin check every week. Choose a regular day, maybe Sunday after dinner or Monday before you start the week. Stand in good light. Look gently, carefully, lovingly at your skin. Check your back, your neck, your legs, your feet. Ask a loved one to help if needed. Notice changes. Write them down. Ask questions when something feels off. And if you find something that concerns you, do not wait. Talk to a doctor. Push past the hesitation, the worry, the temptation to delay. Because early action is powerful. Because small habits repeated faithfully build legacies of health, of presence, of life. And maybe, just maybe, taking these 3 minutes could mean watching another grandchild graduate, taking another trip to your favorite seaside town, sitting on the porch in the warm dusk of many more summers to come. You deserve that future. Your loved ones deserve it too. Let's not leave it to chance. If you're ready, I invite you to comment below. I will check. Say it aloud. Write it down. Claim it for yourself. And share this message with someone you love, because you never know whose life you might save with a single conversation, a single reminder, a single act of love. Together we can turn quiet listening into powerful living. Are you ready? Because your story, your beautiful unfolding story, really deserves many more chapters yet to come. And so as we come to the end of our time together today, I want you to imagine a different morning. Picture yourself stepping outside just as the sun rises, the light gentle and golden washing over everything it touches. You feel it warm against your face, and there's a quiet joy bubbling up inside you, the kind that says, I am still here. I am still alive. I am still becoming. You run your fingers lightly over your arm, feeling the strength beneath your skin, the story written in every freckle and scar. And you remember you listened, you cared, you acted. Maybe it was just 3 minutes on a Sunday night. Maybe it was a quick glance in the mirror after brushing your teeth. Maybe it was asking a loved one to check that spot you couldn't quite see. Tiny moments, small decisions. But those tiny moments, those small decisions added up to something huge. A longer life, a richer life, a life full of mornings like this one, soft and golden and singing with possibilities. If not now, when if not you? Who your body is speaking even now, whispering, nudging, hoping you'll lean in and listen. You are not too old to start paying attention. You are not too late to make a difference in your own story. You are not alone on this journey. And as you move forward from today, may you carry this truth with you. Every small act of love you give yourself becomes a gift to everyone who loves you. Check your skin. Trust your instincts. Honor your life. Because you, my friend, are worth the care. You are worth the time. You are worth the future still waiting for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for choosing to listen to yourself. Stay safe. Stay aware. Stay alive. And above all, stay beautifully, gloriously alive. Thank you for being with us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and tell us one thing you learned and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your feedback means a lot to us, so please feel free to share. Reading your comments truly motivates and inspires us. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Your support enables us to keep creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we can't wait to see you in the next video.